And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour live on YouTube. Adult junior action coming to you today from ABC West in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. For those of you that don't know, Mechanicsburg is just outside of the capital, Harrisburg. Good field today of 58 teams, 2 teams away from a sellout. We are down to the top 4 in both handicap and scratch. Today they bowled on a lithium pattern. It was interesting because scores for the first 2 games were average at best. And then everything changed in game 3. In game 3, we had 4 300s and a couple 279s. So tournament director Matt is going over the format for the finals. So what's going to be happening is in the first match, seeds 1 will be facing seed 4. Scratch will be on the left, handicap will be on the left, 41 and 42. Scratch will be on the right, 43 and 44. So after that match, then seeds 2 and 3 will go. Again, handicap will be on 41 and 42. Scratch will be on 43 and 44. And then the 2 remaining teams will flip. Scratch for the finals will be on 41 and 42. Handicap on 43 and 44. So I'd like to thank everybody who tuning in to watch us this afternoon.
Ryan! Graham!
Check. I'm going to try it. Okay. All right, good afternoon, bowlers, and welcome to ABC West Lanes for our live streaming finals for today's adult junior event. We have our top 4 teams remaining in competition. We will do 2 semifinal matches of 1 game. The winning teams will then bowl each other for the title. Time to introduce our 4 scratch teams for today's event. Our number 4 seed team is Tyler Miller and Ryan Graham.
In the scratch division, your number 4 seeds at plus 329.
Our
Tyler Miller and Ryan Graham.
Is Trevor Courtney and Barry Werner.
Your number 3 seeds at 337. Trevor Courtney and Barry
Our number
Warner.
2 seed team is Tyler and Todd Wenzel.
Tyler and Todd Wenzel are your number 2 seeds at plus
And our tournament
486.
leaders at plus 503 for 8 games is Darren and DJ Zombro.
And your top seeds is the Zombro and Zombro show at plus
for our scratch finalists for today's
503.
PJBT. Okay, now it is time to introduce our 4 handicap finalist teams. Our number 4 team is Liana and Chris Lucchese.
On the handicap side, the 4 seeds at plus
Our
269.
number 3
Liana and
seeds
Chris
are Braden
Lucchese.
and Kevin Kaler.
Braden and Kevin Kaler plus 276
Our number
are
2
3
seed
seeds.
teams is Riley Nahey and Peter Kapczynski.
Ryler Nahey and Peter Kapczynski.
And our tournament
Plus
leaders at
347.
plus 397 for 8 games is Cameron and Tony Ruth.
Cameron and Tony Ruth are your
Bowling
top
fans,
seeds
let's
at
have a
plus
nice hand for our 4 handicap
397.
finalist teams for today's PJBT. All right, we will begin with semifinal number 1. It'll be Siege 1 versus 4.
Actually, let me just work and get them turned on. 3 balls on each leg. These are bowling.
That's us.
Okay?
All right, so we're going to let the two teams in match 1 warm up. So let's take a look at our finalists today in the scratch division. Darren and DJ Zombro were your top seeds at plus 503. They were top after qualifying at plus 285. And they shot games of 547, 428, and 443. The 547, Zombro the third shot 279, and Dad shot 268 to get them to 503. Taylor and Todd Wenzel, your number 2 seeds, they were plus 255 after qualifying, which I believe that was second seed. And they shot games of 520, with Tyler shooting an impressive 275. 460 and 451 to get to 486. Trevor Courtney and Barry Warner, they were plus 245 after qualifying. I believe that was good enough for third. Then they shot games of 433, 450, 409 to get to plus 337. Tyler and Todd Wenzel were the 3 seed after qualifying, and Trevor and Barry, I believe, were the 4 seed. Rounding out the top 4, Tyler Miller and Ryan Graham, they were the number 2 seeds after qualifying at plus 266. And they shot games of 404, 405, and 454 to get to plus 329. On the handicap side, your top seeds are Cameron and Tony Ruth. They were plus 273 after qualifying. And they shot games with handicap of 431, 432, and 461 to get to 397. Your number 2 seeds, Riley Nahey and Peter Kapachinski. I hope I said that close to right. They were plus 161 after qualifying. Then they shot games with handicap of 486, 450, and 450 to get to plus 347. Braden and Kevin Taylor, they were plus 200 after qualifying. Then shot games with handicap of 408, 398, 470 to get to plus 276. And rounding out the top 4 are Liana and Chris Lucchese. They were plus 210 after qualifying. The bowl games with handicap of 407, 450, and 402 to get to plus 269. So in this first match with the Lucchese's are going to be given the Ruths 62 pins. So, those are your finalists today. Reminder, we only have 3 more events left in the regular season. In 2 weeks, we're at Strike Zone in Pottsville. Then the week after, we are at ABC North in Harrisburg, not too far from where I'm sitting at the moment. And then our final regular season event is our annual 2 a.m. tournament. Yes, the tournament starts at 2 a.m. Sunday morning. That is at Town and Country up in Bethlehem. So you can wake up that Sunday morning and have breakfast with the PJBT. So then after that, then our postseason begins with our bracket challenge tournament. And then we have championship weekend. The first full weekend in June. Friday night we have the professional skins match. That's a lot of fun. If you can't make it in person for that, you can watch it right here on our YouTube channel. Although I do suggest if you can get there to watch it in person. Every youth bowler that attends that night gets some type of scholarship, I believe. And then that Saturday we have a Pro-Am, no tap, for both adults and juniors with the pros. And then we have 2 squads of adult junior, culminating Saturday night with those that make it to the finals from the 2 squads of the adult junior to go head-to-head against Parker Bone in a winner-take-all match. And then that Sunday morning, we have our annual championship tournament. We'll have, before we begin, we will have our awards ceremony for season 22. Yes, we are in our 22nd season here on the PJBT. And immediately after the awards ceremony, we do player introductions, and then right into the tournament we go. The following weekend then is our annual Masters tournament up in the Allentown area. And then the week after that is the best tournament down in New Jersey. Bowlers of Eastern States. $5,000 scholarship to the winner. So you can find out information on any of these tournaments by checking out our website at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com. All right, looks like we're just about done with warm-ups. Let me get some scoreboards up here for you guys so you can see them.
We are ready to begin semifinal number 1. On the scratch side, to your right, we have top seed Darren Zombro III and DJ Zombro taking on number 4 seed Tyler Miller and Ryan Graham. They have elected to have their opponents start the match on the left lane, lane 43. On the handicap side, we have number 1 seed Cameron and Tony Ruth taking on number 4 seed Liana and Chris Lucchese. The difference in handicap is 32, not showing up yet, so I'll get that taken care of. But the Roots are going to start on the left lane, lane 41. All right, bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our first semifinal matches.
So the handicap in the first match, my apologies, is 42 pins. 42. Liana starts out with 7 pin. And Cameron puts it where you don't want to. Cameron, though, has bowled great all day. She was above average all of her games. Most of the time, way above average, which helped her team get the first. Her partner, Tony, was one of those 4 300s in game 3. Zombro start out with a 9 spare. Chris Lucchese with a strike. His partner Liana did make her spare. Cameron did get 9 on her second shot. Now let's see what Tony does on lane 41. 10 pin. Speaking of 10s, let's see if Tyler picks this up. He does. Tony Ruth picks up his spare. DJ Zombro with a strike in the first. Now our first look at Ryan Graham. Haven't seen Ryan all that much here on the PJBT Tour. Used to be quite the regular back in the day. And he gets the 7 out. Ryan's a little bit of a showman.
This bear likes me.
Liana with a strike in her second frame. Cameron went 9 miss. Tony now up. There he goes, 10 back. Once again, they're bowling on the lithium pattern today. 9 pin for Tyler. Good shot. Chris now up, lane 41. That's a double. Zombro the third up, working on a spare. He goes high. He goes high, says Ryan Graham, and they all fall down. Tyler picks up his 9 pin. You know, that's the sport of bowling. Tyler threw a good shot. Came in just a touch high. The ball was driving and it drove right by the 9 pin, and then triple I goes through the nose and strikes. So we'll see if Karma, though, catches up to Zombro at some point. As we all know, the lanes giveth, the lanes taketh. Cameron Ruth, she got her first strike of the game in the third. Ryan, split 4, 8, 10. It is makeable. Tony Ruth, 10 pin. I believe that's what he left in the first frame over there. So he's around the pocket. Just got to find a way to get that 10 pin out on the left hand. Let's see if Ryan can make his spare. 3 in a row for Chris to start. Ryan does not get any, which that is a mistake. So we'll see if those 4 pins that he should have at least gotten. It's early in the match. Should have went for the 2 there. So we'll see if those 4 pins come back to haunt him. Cameron, good shot. Leaves just the 4 pin. Zombro doubles. Liana leaves the 4-7. Cameron makes her spare. Tyler Miller got his first strike. Tony Ruth continuing on his Dutch 200 pace. Let's see if he can break that in frame 5. Up on 41. Ryan Graham now up 43, coming off of his open. He gets the 8 out. He's certainly playing just about every little bit of that lane. Looks like he's crossing somewhere around 26-ish. Getting it out to about 5. Can't really tell from the angle that I'm sitting at. Chris Lucchese opening with the front 4. Liana now up, frame 5. That's a really good shot. Strike. Tyler Miller with a double. Sombra looked like he got that inside. Slid past his break point, leaves a 2, 4, 5. Cameron Ruth, another good shot. Only left a single pin. Makeable. Let's see if she picks it up. She does not. Sombra picks up his spare. Lucchese with 5 in a row. Tony Ruth, another 10 pin on that lane. So he hasn't figured out the mystery of getting the 10 out yet. I'm 41. There's a lot of different things he could do at this point. He could move back a little bit on the approach. He could move his eyes a little bit. He could move a little left with his feet. One thing you really don't want to do, which a lot of beginner bowlers will do, at this point in the day, when the lanes have gone through their transition, you don't want to move right. If it's early in the day, game 1, game 2, sure, you can move a little right. But now that we're in game 9, also with 15 minutes of practice, 10 minutes before we start, and then 5 minutes before round 2, lanes have certainly gone through a lot of transition. Moving right would not be the right move. Cameron had another good first ball. Left the 10 pin. She could not pick up the spare. One of the moves that I always like to do when I let the 10 pin consistently, like Tony is, would be to move a little left with my feet and a little right with my eyes. Just to give it a little bit of a different shape. So Tony's now on his good lane. Zombro, by the way, on the scratch side. Papa Zombro starts out with the front 5. Tony strikes through 6. He's still got that Dutch 200 pace going. Liana gets her 7 pin. Ryan Graham, 9 pin. So Chris is up, lane 41. He's got the front 5. And at the front 6. Ryan makes his 9 pin. For Liana. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, our message board is live and operational. Should you wish to chime in, let me know where you're watching us from today. Cameron Ruth, great shot. Probably her best shot that I've seen her throw today. And she leaves an 8. Once again, the lanes give it, the lanes taketh. Liana makes her spare. Zambo the third up. He goes Jersey. So far he's in 3 of his shots over there. 1 shot went through the nose and struck, and the other shot went Jersey and struck. So he's living a little high right now on lane 43. Ryan Graham with the strike. Let's see if Papa Zombro now can get his 6th in a row. Chris is looking for 7 in a row, and he gets it. Right. So let's see what Tony's going to do. Let's see what adjustment he makes to try to get the 10 out here on lane 41. And he gets it out. He says, finally. Papa Zombro doing what he does a lot and strikes. Cameron Ruth. She made her 8 pin and then strikes in the 8th. Zombro with his 3rd strike in a row. Leon gets a strike. She only has 1 open through 8 frames. Bowling a good game. Tyler Miller now up lane 43. He's on a string of 4 strikes in a row. Let's see if he can make it 5. He does not. He gets 5, doesn't make it 5. And isn't that how it normally happens? You finally get the 10 out on the lane you've been leaving it on, and then you leave a 10 pin on the other lane. While your opponent now has the front 8. Tyler Miller gave it a run. Got 3 out of the 5. Big mistake there for Tony, not picking up the 10 pin. They've fallen behind by about 40 pins. Zombro with his 7th in a row to open his match. Handicap match is in the foundation frame 9. That's a double for Liana. Cameron got a 6 count. Let's see if she can make her spare. And she does. Good shot there by Cameron. Ryan Graham playing just about the entire lane. In that match, the Zombros are up by a little less than 50. There's the Chasey front 9. Tyler Miller with a strike, keeping his team in it. And another 10 pin for Tony. So through 9 frames, if strikes counted as strikes and leaving a 10-pin counted as strikes, he'd have the front 9. So it looks like that match is pretty much wrapped up. The Chaseys will be advancing. Ryan Graham had the 4-9 up momentarily. Cameron makes her spare. DJ Zambra up, looking for the front 8. That's inside. And he goes Brooklyn. So we got Chris Lucchese with the front 9 on 41 and 42, and DJ Zambra with the front 8 on 43 and 44. Tyler Miller, 8 count. Cameron Ruth shot another good game for her, 153. Liana, though, is going to be in the 190s, which is a really good game for her. So really the story of this match was the adult bowlers. Tony had some issues getting the 10-pin out, and Chris just kept on striking. At least Tony left something different that frame. Zombro. That's the front 9. So we got 2 bowlers now with the front 9. I do know we've had 2 300s on before in the same game. It was the same team that did it too, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we had total of 5 300s today so far. And this was, obviously we went with the lithium pattern today, not the easiest pattern, in the world. But in the same token, we didn't have any honor scores until game 3, and then we had 4 300s shot during game 3 to start the day. So would not be surprised to see some more here today. Some absolutely great bowling.
Chris with the front 10. Zombra leaves a 9-pin. So that's going to break his string of 5 in a row. But they will be moving on to the finals. Tyler splits in the 10th, gets 2, shoots 196. Chris now up. That's 11.
There's 11.
We just had a 300 a couple weeks ago on the broadcast.
We did.
In the championship match. And there it is.
Chris Lucchese with a 300.
Running in, you're not so long to 10 minutes of practice. Good luck and good bowling.
Thank you.
Have fun, be good sports.
So we might have 2 300s here in game 1. I do, looking back in the PJBT record books, Matt, I believe we had teammates one time shoot 300 in the same game in a doubles tournament.
I would have to go back and look.
Wasn't it Dragovich and Bradley Krause?
I believe
Dragovich was
did.
definitely one. That we're going back about 7 or 8 years on that one.
So that's a title win, 493 to 391 for the first match in handicap.
All right, so now let's turn to Zombro. Let's see if he could get the final 3. Remember, he yanked the one in the 8th on this lane, and he crossed over to the Brooklyn, and he carried. That's 10. I believe if he does get 300, I don't want to jinx him here, but that'll be about 300 number, about 463 for him. He does have a lot of them.
22 for Ryan Graham, so that team will finish with 417, and they'll finish in 4th today.
Oh, he gets the 8 out. Looked like he got
11.
He looked like he got that one out just a little bit from where he's been playing, and it came trucking through the pocket.
I just want to point out, if he gets one more strike here, we will have 7 300s from our adults today, and it was 7 different adult bowlers.
Yes, it was.
Amazing. Here's the shot.
That's it.
Wow. Great way to start the finals. 544 and 2 300 games. Wow.
Well, Matt, time on our YouTube channel goes by quick when they all throw strikes.
Yes, it does. Well, my special awards part of the form is running out of room. Okay, so we need a 3rd place handicap. We need a 4th place scratch. 4th scratch.
So we'll see once the finals come when those bowlers flip-flop pairs if they could do it again. But before they try, we have another match. Now the number 2 and number 3 seeds will be coming in. Once again, handicap will be on the left. Scratch will be on the right.
Hold on, leg stretch, guys. Thank you. You get one too. You get one. You get a 300 too. Yeah. That was a recreational right there.
You guys are going to be allowed to practice if you want on 39.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes our first semifinal matches. Very exciting, a double 300 game. Finishing officially in 4th place in the scratch division. The youth bowler getting a $100 scholarship and award. The adult bowler a $100 payout. Goes to the team of Tyler Miller and Ryan Graham.
Tyler Miller, Ryan Graham, 4th place today in the scratch division.
And officially our 3rd place finishes in the handicap division. The youth bowler getting a $100 scholarship and award. The adult bowler a $100 payout. Goes to the team of Cameron and Tony Ruth.
Cameron and Tony Ruth. Now, technically, they finish in 3rd place because they were the number 1 seed, so they can't fall down to the 4th seed.
Okay, on to our second semifinal match.
But to lose in the semis, you win the same amount of money and scholarship for the Junior Bowl.
You want to go half of it? Let's do it.
All right, so let's go over our upcoming schedule again. We touched on it a little bit at the top. We'll just go through our regular season. So next week is a rare off week for the PJBT. So don't look for any telecasts next Sunday. I know you'll miss my voice. I understand. The week after, we return to Strike Zone Lanes up in Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Little trip up Route 81 from here. That is Sunday, May the 2nd. 10:30 start time. And then Sunday, May the 9th. We travel up the road here to ABC North. Regular tournament. That's Sunday, May the 9th, 10:30 start time. And then we wrap up our regular season with, technically the tournament is Sunday morning starting at 2 a.m. on the 16th. If you want to say Saturday night, by all means, say Saturday night. Up at Town and Country. Now, again, that starts at 2 a.m. Now, let me say that Town and Country is not that big of a bowling center, so I would expect, shockingly, a lot of people like to come out and bowl at 2 a.m. in the morning. So, I'm thinking that tournament is going to be a sellout. So, to hold your spot, put down just a $20 deposit at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com and you'll have your spot reserved. You could do that for any one of our tournaments, and you know your spot is guaranteed. You know, due to COVID, we can't have as many people on a pair as we normally do. You know, normally here, let's say at ABC West, our full field today was 60. We could normally go up to, I believe it's 92 if it's a normal year. So those are our upcoming events. You can check out the schedule at www.pjbtbowlingseries.com. Also, if you have not yet liked our Facebook page, feel free to like it. That's where we post everything there is to know about the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. You can look it up on Facebook at PJBT Youth Information Page. PJBT Youth Information Page. Also, if this is your first time watching us, thank you very much for joining us. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. And if you have your notifications turned on, you will be notified each and every time we go live on the Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour. So we're about halfway through practice. Once again, our message board is live and operational. Should you wish to chime in, let me know where you're watching us from today. Always like to know where our fans are watching us from. We've had people, let's see, I know we've had people from Florida watch us. I know we've had people from across that big pond to our east over in Europe watch us. We've had some people out in the western states. So let me know where you're watching us from today. Linda tuning in from Mountaintop up in the Wilkes-Barre area. I myself grew up a little north of there. One of the best things about that area of Pennsylvania, Old Forge style pizza. So Linda, let me know where you get like your Old Forge style pizza from. For those of you that do watch us from the Wilkes-Barre area, we do get up there once or twice a year. Up to Chaco's, we have an adult junior up there, and word is we're going to be coming to another bowling center up that way next year as well. We used to go to Stanton when Stanton was open. So this scratch match is going to be interesting. Got four pretty good bowlers. Tyler and Todd Wenzel. I've known Todd for several years. Really good bowler. And their opponents, Trevor Courtney and Barry Warner.
Okay, bowling fans, time to begin our second semifinal match. On the scratch side, to your right, we have number 2 seed, Tyler and Todd Wenzel, taking on number 3 seed, Trevor Courtney and Barry Warner. The Wenzels have elected to have their opponents start the match on the left lane, lane 43. On the handicap side, we have number 2 seed, Riley Nahay and Peter Kapruzinski, taking on number 3 seed, Braden Kaler and Kevin Kaler. The difference in handicap is 88 going to Nahay and Kapruzinski, and they have elected to start the match on lane 41. All right, bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our second semifinal match bowler.
All right, and we're off. Linda, never had Old Forge style pizza. Really? It's got a sweeter sauce, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, than regular pizza sauce. All right, off we go. Semi-final match number 2. Trevor Courtney up on lane 43. And this is Riley Nahey on 41. Trevor starts out with a strike. Riley gets a 9.
Because I got the keys in the book.
Tyler Wenzel gets a strike. Riley does not pick up her 6-pin. Linda, I think I've had Angelo's before. All right, Matt's joining me once again in the Bowler X booth.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
What a day today.
Yes.
Great day. We had 116 bowlers today, and the big news is we are up to 7 300s and counting with our adult bowlers. We had one 290 game today from a youth bowler. That was Alex Herbst. He had 11 in a row 290. So high scores today on the lithium patterns.
Well, I don't like odd numbers, so we better get at least another 300.
I'm telling you, I have no more room on my sheet. I will just quickly summarize the first 5 300s today. I want to congratulate Jordan Schell, James Marciano, Tony Ruth, who was in the finals in the last match, Scott Canfield, and Nolan McHenry. The first 4 were bowled in Game 3 of qualifying, and then Nolan McHenry finished qualifying with a 300. So we had 5 from the adults, and then you saw 2 here on the live stream during the first game of the finals. So 7 300s and a 290 today is where we stand entering our second semifinal. And on the board, we'll start with the scratch side. So far, Wenzel and Wenzel are perfect through a frame and a half. Barry Werner with the only spare on the board for the Courtney Werner team. He's up in frame 2. And he goes light, leaving an 8-pin.
Interesting way to leave an 8-pin.
So you're going to look to pick that up and get back-to-back spares. Pretty good shot there for Riley Nahey. Leaving a 4-pin. Brandon Kaler started spare strike. After it opened in the first, his partner Kevin steps up, breaks up the split, leaving the 4-7. On the scratch side, Werner gets his spare, so we have 3 bowlers out of 4 with the first 2. Werner with the only 2 spares. Courtney steps up in the third and puts up a triple. Kapuzinski with a double. Pretty good shot there for Tyler, leaving the 10-pin. Nice shot there by Braden Kaler, putting up a double on the handicap side. Their team looking to make up the 88 pins. Riley not able to convert her spare, 37 in the third for her. On the scratch side, Tyler Wenzel picks up his spare. And there's the first strike of the match for Kevin Kaler. Warner crosses over,
Oh, in Jersey.
gets his first strike of the match. And Peter crosses over to the right-hander side and gets a strike.
Going Brooklyn.
The left-hander Brooklyn, yes, for his 3 in a row. Todd Wenzel, pretty good shot. Just didn't drive through the hole, it looked like. Hit a little flat, leaving the 8 pin. And speaking of driving through the hole and just missing his Braden makes a good shot on the handicap side, leaving the 7 pin. Riley leaves the 3-6-9. She'll look to convert. And she does. Nice spare for her. Braden converts his spare. And Todd Wenzel converts his on the scratch side. So we have a 7-pin match through 3 frames on the scratch side. 7-pin lead for the Wenzels as they start frame number 4.
Thank you, Linda.
Tyler gets a strike.
Kapuscinski. Thank you very much.
And he comes in a little bit high, leaving the 6-8. I'll just call him Peter.
That's
so I don't mess it
probably
up.
the easiest way to do it.
Pretty good shot there for Kevin, leaving the 10 pin. So he'll look to pick up a spare. Again, the winner of this semifinal match will take on our 2 teams who won the first match for the title.
Seven pin for Courtney. Great shot.
And I don't mean to jinx anybody, but this match will not have a 300.
I know. I don't know
It
what's
seemed pretty common today. As many of you know who bowl out on the PJBT tour, we rotate our patterns. Some weeks we bowl on more recreational type patterns, and some weeks we bowl on the challenge patterns with the majors and so forth. So today's recreational pattern produced some really good scores.
Riley leaves a 6-10. Her 5th frame.
On the scratch side, Todd Wenzel goes light, leaving the 2-4 after his son Tyler got a strike. See if Barry can follow up here. He's had 2 spares and a strike that crossed over.
Riley
Probably
makes
his
her
best
spare.
shot of the match, leaving a 10 pin. Pretty good shot there. So the team of Kaler on the handicap side goes strike in the 5th. And Peter gets a strike, following up Riley. So it's a 71-pin lead for Nahey and Kapuscinski halfway through the match. Yes, I know, I said it wrong again, didn't I?
Yes. Think cap a shin. Ski. So try to remember, baseball, the first vowel, a body part, and a sport.
That's a lot. You gotta write that down for me.
Yes. Lord knows you and I are not very good with our names.
Braden gets a double on the handicap side, and Trevor Courtney with a strike. Pretty good shot there for Tyler. Tyler Wenzel puts up a double. And Kevin Kaler gets a double. So the Kalers starting to build some strikes. Trying to close that deficit. And Peter with a strike. Kapuscinski.
There you go.
Warner with a strike. So Todd Wenzel steps up, coming off the open. He gets a strike here. They will trail by 25.
That's Braden's third strike in a row.
Kaler's making up pins quickly here. Riley not able to get any, so she'll have 89 in the 7th. Great shot for Kevin. So Kevin and Braden with both with 3 in a row.
Now let's see if Peter could get 3 in a row.
On the scratch side, Todd Wenzel leaves an 8-pin, picks up his spare. It's like his ball is just starting to not drive through the hole. He's getting to the pocket, but not driving through. So a 25-pin lead right now for Courtney Warner. Halfway through the second scratch semifinal. And a big shot there for Braden Kaler, making it 4 in a row. Those guys have it going. And Riley picks up a spare. Trevor Courtney with a strike, high flush strike, double.
He's got 5 strikes in 6 frames.
Wenzel picks up his spare, 105 in the 5th with a spare. Oh, and a good shot. Kevin gets away with 1 there, comes in high flush, trips out the 4, trips out the 9, and they both have 4 in a row. Both with 4 in a row.
Peter's string is over at 3. He leaves a 6-10. Should be able to pick that up. That match is tightening up.
On the scratch side, Tyler Wenzel gets 8 spare in the 6th. Todd Wenzel up now. And he gets a strike, so good adjustment. First strike for him since the 2nd frame. His opponent, Courtney put up a strike for a double, but Barry Warner left a 10-pin. And Barry is not able to convert, so that will give back the open frame. 107 in the 6th for Barry Warner. Foundation frame 9th on the handicap side. Riley gets 1. She has 116 in the 9th. Courtney with a 7-pin, ending his string at 2. Great shot for Braden. 5 in a row for him. Tyler Wenzel comes up high on the scratch side, leaving the 3-6-10. Courtney picks up his spare. And Wenzel does the same. Wow. So a 5-pin that was halfway down is still standing to end Kevin Kaler's string. Kapuzinski makes his spare. And entering the 10th frame, that should make it a 1-pin match. On the handicap side, spare should make it a 1-pin match. Nope, scratch that. We have a tie. We have a tie heading to the 10th.
Advantage Kaler's with Braden being on 5 in a row. Make that 6 in a row.
Make it 6. He is hot. Big shot there for them. Okay, Riley gets 6, leaving the 1, 2, 8, 9. She just needs a strike ball shot. Pick that one up.
Braden strikes here, he'll be in the 260s. And he did.
And he does. Wow, great shot.
And that basically sewed the matchup.
Good spare there for Riley.
Tyler Wenzel comes in light in the 8th.
And he finishes off. Braden Kaler, 269. Great game for him. And Riley finishes off her game with a strong strike that crosses over. 136 for her.
She bowled a good game, a couple marks above her average.
And Kaler with a strike wraps up the handicap side. So on the handicap side, we will have our number 3 and number 4 seeds bowling for the title today. Now we'll turn our attention back to the scratch side. Courtney and Werner will have a 19-pin lead if Wenzel strikes here in the 8th as he steps up. And he does.
Trips the 4 from behind.
So it'll be a 19-pin lead as they start the foundation 9th frame. 19-pin lead for Courtney and Warner.
The handicap side, Peter will be in the 220s. And so will Kevin.
Kaler follows up his son with a 227. So they finish with 496 and will advance to the title match.
Trevor Courtney, strike in the foundation frame 9th. That's a double for him. 496 to 445 was the final on the handicap side. Barry came in a little touch high. Leaves himself the 4-pin. It's going to be a big shot here for Todd. He could really use the double going into the 10th with his team down by about 45. And he gets 9 in a wiggle.
Warner picks up his spare.
So advantage Trevor and Barry going into the 10th. The best that the Wenzels can shoot is 415.
Yeah, it's a 29-pin lead for Courtney and Warner entering the 10th frame, so they're going to need some help here. See how Tyler starts the 10th.
Crosses over. So basically, if Trevor strikes here, that will end it. 7.
Pretty good shot.
That's all he's done this game, strikes and 7s.
Important to keep the ball around the pocket, and that's what he did. Wenzel picks up his spare.
So now the best the Wenzels can do is 404 with a strike. Trevor and Barry will be at 403. And Barry still will have to go. Tyler crosses over again. He winds up with a 197. All right, so all Barry's going to need is a couple sticks. They'll be moving on to the title match. Todd gets a strike. And Barry gets a strike. So on the scratch side, we'll have the number 1 and the number 3 seeds.
It was an interesting strike.
Todd
Had the bucket, and it all fell forward.
Very interesting.
5 into the 8 into the 4.
Yep.
So Todd and Barry in a race to tie each other. The difference in this match will be the youth bowler, with Trevor shooting 236 and Tyler with 197. Todd finishes with 206 and gives them 403 for the game. And they shoot the same score, 206. It'll be 442 to 403.
All right, that takes care of our semifinals. Now, the two teams that won will flip. Scratch will move to 41 and 42. Handicap to 43 and 44. We'll get practice going for that match right after we give away some awards for our semifinalists.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes our second semifinal for today's PJBT. Finishing officially in third place in the scratch division. The youth bowler getting a $100 scholarship and payout. The adult bowler a $100 cash payout. Goes to the team of Tyler and Todd Wenzel.
Tyler and Todd Wenzel, semifinalists today.
Todd gets everything.
Okay, and our fourth place finishers officially in the handicap division. The youth bowler getting a $100 scholarship and award. The adult bowler a $100 payout. Goes to the team of Riley Nahey and Peter Kapuscinski.
Kapuscinski.
Nice bowling. All right, on to our title match action.
Let's go.
Okay, numbers. And Courtney Warner. 3 balls in each lane. Don't worry about the scoring.
All right, so we're gonna warm up for the finals. I will be back in a couple minutes. You are watching Pennsylvania Junior Bowlers Tour live on YouTube.
I don't know what she's working on.
I'm calling her bluff. I think she's lying.
Well, Billy Joe's messaging me.
Billy Joe wants to take you for a ride.
What's the ride still, please? She wants to take a ride on the beach trip.
Unfortunately, if you go to a room and grab a chair and sit like right there.
That's alright, I've been sitting all day. I'll just stand here.
Unless you want me to back your head.
Huh?
Unless you want to back your head in the pick.
No, it's okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone always says the question is
Commentate on what? What are you gonna ask me?
oh wow, I think we could get technical and talk about real action.
Yep. My hand. No, I'm just a chauffeur.
I get it. All right, so we are back. Practice is over. We are ready for the final match. Don't forget, message board is live and operational should you wish to chime in. So, on the scratch side, we got the Zombros going up against Courtney and Connor. And on the handicap side, we got the Killers against the Lucchese's. Sounds like a good rendition of Family Feud. Looks like the handicap is 4 pins. Am I seeing that right? Hello, Jeremy. I'm doing fantastic. How are you? All right, let's hand it down to Matt.
Okay, bowling fans, we are time to begin our title matches for today's PJBT. On your scratch side, to the left, your top seeds, Darren and DJ Zombro, taking on the number 3 seed, Trevor Courtney and Barry Warner. The Zombros have elected to start the match on lane 41. On the handicap side, we have number 3 seed, Braden and Kevin Kaler, taking on number 4 seed, Liana and Chris Lucchese. The Kalers have elected to have their opponents start the match on the left lane, lane 43, and the difference in handicap is just 4 pins going to the Lucchese team. All right, bowling fans, let's have a nice hand for our title matches for today's PJBT.
All right, off we go. Let's see who's going to be winning some titles today. Looks like Triple I will be starting us on lane 41. Liana will start on lane 43. Braden on 44. Zombro starts with a 7 pin. Liana starts with a 5-7. See if Brady could continue his hot hand. He finished the last game with the last 6. And he picks up right where he left off. He had a 269 in the semifinals. Trevor Courtney up 7-pin. Last match, don't forget, he only left strikes and 7s. Zombro with the spare. Liana with a great effort, just missing that 5-pin. She hit it, and it would have went right into the 7. Kevin with a strike. All right. Up now is our 300 bowlers. We got Zombro on the left, Cheesy on the right, and, well, Chris won't be getting a 600 series.
That's fine. It's on the table in there, that's fine.
Chris makes his spare. Liana comes in a little high, leaves herself to 610. Zombro the third with a strike. He's got 20 through 2. Now the hot bowler, Braden, looking for what would be his 8th in a row. And that ends that.
It's going to be an interesting match here on the handicap side with only 4 pins of
Yes.
handicap deciding the difference. I have to admit, this is a very new, sophisticated Brunswick scoring system.
It is.
It is one of the newer versions they have in the centers, so I have to almost get used to it.
Yes.
What's nice is it's very clean, very clear, very clean cut.
That it is. I just wish they, with only 2 names on a pair, they can make it larger.
Make it a little bigger, yeah.
For us old blind people. Wow, look who finally checked in. Maybe she was planning a lot of stuff.
Or cooking dinner. You know how that goes.
Oh, that lady could cook.
On the handicap side, Kevin Kaler leaves a 10 pin, so both the Kalers look to start with strike spare. And that's a pretty even match through 2 frames. Back on the strike trail for Braden as he strikes. And Barry Warner puts up a double.
That time Trevor got the 7 pin out. Trevor's mom is standing to my left,
Yes, I am.
and she was telling me between matches that when late in the block like this, when he leaves 7 pins, he's really got to try to get his axis tilt a little bit higher to carry that 7 pin.
That's exactly what I
That
said.
is exactly what she said.
Sounds to me like an excellent analysis.
Yes, it was.
Liana Lucchese able to convert her spare. So She has 25 in the second with a spare.
It's an interesting dinner for you tonight.
Chris comes in just a bit high. The 4 wiggles and does not go, so it'll be 4-9 splits. So we'll see if he can convert that. And DJ with his first non-strike of the finals as he leaves a 7-pin.
All right, so it's up to Barry to get us to an even number of 300s. No pressure, Barry.
Lucchese gets 1, so he'll put up 48 in the third for his team. Liana goes light, leaving the 5-6-10. She'll try to now fit that ball right in between. DJ picks up his spare. Rating comes in a little bit high, breaks up the split, leaving the 4-7. And Aaron Zombro with 3 in a row.
Looks like he got that a little inside. Got up in time, though.
On the handicap side, Liana gets 2, so she'll put 51 in the fourth up on the board. Braden picks up his spare. He has 60 in the third with a spare.
Great shot there by Trevor. That's a double for him. At the moment, they're down by a pin. But it's early. We're only through 3.5 frames.
Chris Lucchese gets a strike. And to match him, Kevin Kaler gets a double. Puts up a second strike. So 27-pin lead through 4 frames for the team of the Kalers.
7-pin for Zombro. Back-to-back 7s.
And a great shot for Braden Kaler. Just leaves a 10-pin. So he'll look to convert the spare. Liana looked to make adjustment, and she makes a good shot. Leaves a 4-pin. Just comes up a little bit high.
Barry gets number 4.
So ironically, with all the 300s we had today, no 300 pot hit.
Nope.
And we will carry over the $77 to our next event in 2 weeks.
There is an error you don't see very often from Zombro.
DJ misses his 7. So 77 in the fourth for him. Liana Lucchese makes her spare. So she puts up a spare in the fifth. You know, we'll mention on the broadcast, like when you have a situation like Zombro did there, when you're striking so much, sometimes it's hard to focus on a spare because you haven't shot one in so long.
Yes.
So
Zombro playing that inside line again. Can't get the ball to turn the corner. Had the bucket up for a moment. And he just had the 2-4-5 and ends up with just the 2. So let's see if Trevor can take advantage and get his 3rd in a row.
Chris Lucchese posts a double. And his opponent, Kevin Kaler, misses his spare, so 97 in the fifth for him.
Trevor puts that messenger right in front of the 7.
We are halfway through the title match on the handicap side, and the Kalers have a 43-pin lead. And Braden extends that lead with a strike. Courtney not able to convert his spare, so that kind of gives the open with Zombro back there. 95 in the fifth for him.
This is a chance now for Barry to pick up 20 pins. With him being on 4 in a row, strikes here, that'll be 30 pins. With Zombro on an open, he could only get 10.
On the handicap side, Kevin Kaler comes up high, leaving the 9 pin. And Liana Lucchese leaves a 6-10, but converts her spare.
Looked like Zombro played a slightly different line there. Gave it a little more room on the outside. It looked from this angle.
And Warner's string ends at 4, coming in high, leaving the 3-6. On the handicap side, Chris gets a strike. 3 in a row for him.
And with Barry not striking, we'll stop at 7 300ths on the day, which is probably a record for us for one day.
I would think so.
Again, we need our statistician Peaches here to let us know this stuff.
Warner gets 1, so a brick wall built for the Courtney Warner team. Let's see, he does 95 in the fifth, 116 for Warner. And another strike for Braden Kaler, who's very hot. 2 in a row for him again. Liana Lucchese comes up high, leaving the 3 pin. That one looked even farther inside for Zombro, but he got the ball to finish, so strike for him. And a strike for Kevin Kaler. So the first frame since the third, both Kalers strike. The Kalers clearly have the lead. Lucchese makes her spare.
Zombro had a split up there momentarily. He was able to get the 6 pin out, leaving just the 7 pin. He missed one of these the last time he was on this lane. Let's see if he can pick it up this time. Barry came in high as well, leaving though just a single pin.
And that's 4 in a row for Chris Lucchese. So Chris trying to pull his team back into it. 16 pin difference right now through 7 frames. The Kalers lead. But it's anybody's match yet here in the title match of today's PJBT.
This time Zombro covers his 7 pin. Barry makes his spare.
Another strike for Braden Kaler on the handicap side. That's 3 in a row for him.
When he's on, he's on.
Yes, sir. And Liana leaves the washout, the 1, 2, 4, 10. She gets 2. So she'll post 112 in the 8th. Courtney with another good shot there. Trips out the 7, but not the 10. And Kevin Kaler comes in light, leaving the 2-4. That one looked like for him he got inside a target, and the ball skidded further down the lane. So he'll look to pick up the spare.
Zombro with the strike. That was probably his best shot of the game.
And there's 5 in a row for Mr. 300, Chris Lucchese. Trying to carry his team forward. So on the handicap side, we are about to begin the foundation frame, 9th frame. And it will be a 22-pin lead for the Kalers. 22 pins going into the Foundation ninth. Right now the difference, Braden Kaler stepping up, looking for 4 in a row. He does not get it, leaves the 7-pin. Pretty good shot though.
Yes. Papa Zombro with a strike.
Liana leaves the 4-5-7. So she'll lead, see if she can fit that in between there. Pick that up. Kaler gets his spare.
Barry, ball crept a little bit high, but he got a strike. They're down 6, but Zombro, the third, is on a double here, so they could extend it to 16 with a strike.
On the handicap side, Liana gets 2. 121 in the 9th for her. And Kevin comes up light, leaves a 2-4-5. So he'll see if he can convert the spare.
Nine pin for Zombro. We'll see if that may come back and bite them at the end.
Oh, Lucchese gets away with one, coming in high, trips out the 4, the 7, and the 10, and that is 6 in a row for him. So as we start the 10th frame on the handicap side, it is a 29-pin lead for the Kalers. Anything yet could happen. First shot here in the 10th for Braden. And he trips out the 7 for a strike. Big strike there. Liana with her first shot in the 10th. Leaves a 5-pin.
Had the 4-9 standing, and then it wasn't standing.
Liana not able to convert her spare, so she'll finish with 130 in the title match.
That's pretty much going to end that match. If Chris were to strike out, they'll have 392.
Braden finishes with 218, scratch. Chris makes it 7 in a row. He's going to do everything he can to put the maximum score up for them.
Trevor now on a double.
Kevin Kaler gets the first strike, and that should lock up the match. So Braden and Kevin Kaler will be your champions today.
Three in a row for Zombro.
Lucchese comes in high, so a good run there. He'll finish in the 240s.
Barry gave that a little more room. Left the 10, very inopportune time for that.
Kevin leaves the 7-10. All right, Lucchese finishes with 246, and their team will finish with 380 with their handicap.
All right, Barry makes his spare. So it's going to be very important here for Trevor to get at least a double. Because he could get 60 pins for his team if he were to strike out.
411 to 380 is our final scores for the handicap side, as our Braden and Kevin Kaler are our champions.
And we're going to need to get that 8-pin spot. 8-pin needs to be up on 41 with that
Add
5
the
pin.
8?
Add the 8.
You know what? Just call it in. Or you just call it in intercom.
So Trevor crossed over and he had the 5-8 and the 8 slid. And then it knocked it over. Probably a good thing because the way the 8-pin slid, that was going to make that spare a lot more difficult than it will be now.
Yeah, lane 41, we need 5-8.
Oh my lord. 5-8.
Well,
Yeah, AJ, keeps on putting up the 5-9. You need the 5-8. It's on the other side. It's on the other side. It's all irrelevant. It's on the other side.
all right, so we're just having some fun respotting some pins.
Yes.
We will be back to the action in a moment.
I'll try to pick it up.
That's the name. I don't know. It's the name. Like, that's so racist.
Big strike there for Zombro.
That ball looked like it went right over the rangefinder.
So max score 437 for Courtney and Warner. They can max out at.
Yeah, they're behind the 8 ball now.
Darren goes through the face, leaving the 3-6-10.
That ball was a couple 2-tree boards right of where his last shot was.
Good finish for Trevor Courtney, 202. And it'll be a 235 for Darren Zombro III.
Take it off. I'm gonna put a stormy sticker right over there. Think about that.
And that will end it. The Zombros will be your champions.
There you go.
right, 425 for Courtney and Warner. And 460 for the Zombie. 35 pin victory. All right, that takes care of that. We'll give out some hardware for our winners, some scholarship, some cash. Now we'll interview our champions. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. Still got some stuff to go.
My hand hurts. And your back. My back hurts. Anybody missing a phone? Oh, yeah, that's good.
Okay, we're gonna do this first so I don't spill anything.
Yeah, it looks like it. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, bowling fans, that concludes today's PJBT here at ABC West Lanes in Mechanicsburg, PA. Time to give out our final awards. Finishing runner-up in the scratch division, the youth bowler getting $150 scholarship, certificate and award. The adult bowler a $150 payout. Goes to Trevor Courtney and Barry Werner.
Trevor Courtney, Barry Warner. Runner-ups today in the scratch division.
Mary's paying for dinner.
Oh, all right, where
Our
are we going?
finishers in the handicap division, the youth bowler getting a $150 scholarship and the adult bowler a $150 payout. Goes to the team of Liana and Chris Lucchese.
Liana and Chris Lucchese, runner-ups today in the handicap division. Great bowling.
Okay, and now for our champions in the scratch division. Our adult scratch champion receiving a $200 payout in cash, and the first place plaque goes to DJ Zombro.
DJ Zombro, adult champion today.
And our youth adult junior champion in the scratch division getting a $200 scholarship certificate, and the first place acrylic plaque goes to Darren Zombro III.
Darren Zombro III. Youth scratch champion today.
Okay, and our handicap champions, the adult bowler receiving a plaque and a $200 payout goes to Kevin Taylor. Congratulations.
Kevin Kaler, adult handicap champion today.
And handicap champion for today receiving a $200 scholarship certificate, and the acrylic plaque goes to Braden Taylor.
Need one for interviews. Thanks. Braden Kaler.
All right, we'll get a picture
Youth
with our
handicap
winners.
champion.
We'll send it back for final interviews, and then don't forget to join us 2 weeks from today. Will be our next PJBT event, Sunday, May the 2nd. We'll have the live stream finals from Strike Zone Alleys in Pottsville, PA for our next event. Thank you, everybody.
All right, let me set up the camera for final interviews.
Just black. Black or, yeah.
Thank you.
Let's see, we're gonna use it right here for the lighting. We'll do it right here. So, what I'm gonna do is go
I'll wait
over
till you
here.
pass.
I'm gonna have you go up here, stand right here. This way. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna stand in the middle. Where's Tom Brody? I need you to
Yeah, I did. Should have done that earlier.
Actually, I can't think. You guys have a mask.
Yes.
Grab your mask. Jason, you have wait. Back there. Then I'll bring it up.
How they got the vaccine?
He's only got part of the vaccine. Braden, above your nose, please.
All right, who's gonna take it for me? I'll take it for you. All right. DJ, come up here. And smile.
Because your mom and I were talking.
You know, you can all see it so well. You'll never guess what I okay?
You had a great idea. Do you know how to change yourself?
Okay, all right. You guys are up first. Final interview with Jason back there.
Utah.
Jason.
Utah.
That was a proper bonus right there.
You're sitting beside him, and I'll sit on the
I
outside.
need a high chair.
You do not need a high chair.
Sit down. You're the
I need a baby chair.
It was all you today, not me.
What?
It's all you.
That's a lie.
Let's see here. Let me turn that.
What?
Okay, so we are here with our handicap champions today, Braden and Kevin Kaler. Did I say that right? Congratulations, congratulations. So Braden, 269, I believe it was, in the semifinal match, and 218 here. You certainly won the match for your team.
Yeah.
Definitely bowl better than. Is this your dad? Do we
Yeah.
want to admit that on live TV here? Okay. So tell me, what'd you do to shoot 269 in the semis?
Well, during qualifying, I didn't bowl well, so I
Okay.
could bowl here. So I could bowl well here.
Yes.
This guy carried me through qualifying.
Well, that's good. That's good.
And
She just wanted to turn the tables.
yeah,
That's what makes a good team, turning the tables. So, what adjustments then did you make in the finals that you weren't doing earlier?
well, on the practice lane, I moved and played around with different ways to throw the ball, and I finally found the line I wanted to play.
Okay.
And it just go up there calm and collected and
Okay.
throw a nice shot.
So, Kevin, you bowled good during qualifying. So, what happened to the pairs later on in the day once they broke down where you apparently then struggled a little more?
Like I said, they started breaking down towards the end of the day, and with me being a little bit older and stuff, it's getting harder. It's getting harder for me to throw the ball, harder. I was trying to get over as far as I could left, and just make some decent shots and make the spares. And like I told Braden, I said, you can bowl good in this, and that's great. And he did. He picked me up.
You did. So, how old are you?
16.
16. Is 269 your high, Gabe?
No,
No? Okay. What's your high?
279.
279. Very good. Very good. What school do you go to?
I go to Warwick High School.
Warwick. They have a bowling team.
Yeah.
You on the bowling team?
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. I won't ask you what school you go to, sir. So, who would you like to thank for today's victory?
Definitely Neil Vitale, my coach.
He's a great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Please go that way. Because I could just see that.
Anybody else?
Um,
Maybe the guy sitting to your right?
well, this guy, yeah.
Yeah.
And my teammates,
Okay.
Because-
Who drills your equipment?
Eric Montgomery or Frankie May.
Frankie Well, there's two people to. Heck, I couldn't tell you how many years I've known Frankie May. A lot longer than you've been alive. Let's put it that way. Sir, who would you like to thank?
I would like to thank my son for coming out here and bowling with me. Frankie May, he does all my equipment for me. appreciate all the drillings that he does for me. Helps me get through my games.
Okay.
I'd like to thank,
I guess that means you guys do your league bowling at leisure.
No, actually, he bowls at Dutch,
Dutch?
and I bowl at leisure.
Gotcha. So is this your first PJBT title?
Yeah.
Well, you are now qualified for championship weekend down in Limerick. So we'll get you information on that. And it's the first full weekend in June. We're there all weekend, Friday through Sunday. The main tournament is Sunday morning, just like it was here today. All right, ladies and gentlemen, taking home the handicap title today for his first victory, shooting 269 and 218 in the semifinals and finals. We have Braden and Kevin Kaler. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we will bring in our scratch champions. We've had these people on before, once or twice, or 12 times now. We have the Zombros. Congratulations. I really don't know what else I could ask you because you've sat here with me a lot.
Yeah. This is your 7th time sitting here.
Yes. Did you guys win an adult junior earlier this year
we
too?
did.
I was going to say, I don't ever remember interviewing somebody twice for winning adult juniors in the same season. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You are solidifying your hold even stronger on Player of the Year.
Of course.
There's only one person left that could probably give you a run, and that's me, myself. Sure. I haven't bowled any events though, but you never know. So, lithium. How'd you attack it?
I'm gonna go first.
No, go ahead.
So
You're all the weight on my back there for a little bit.
yeah, yeah. So I started out with a strong pearl
Okay.
with a snap on it.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it looked good for the first couple games, and then I switched to Black Widow hammer. Nice smooth, and I used that until match play, and then used a stronger aggressive ball. Stood more left, played deeper into the lane because the fronts were too dry up. Got it out there, check up, so play into the oil inside.
Now, let's admit that's opposite of what you're normally here.
Yeah.
You would normally think you would play an aggressive ball earlier in the squad and then switch to pearl a little later in the squad. So he did the opposite today, and it worked out great. So after you shot your 300, I said that was about 300 number 462 for you.
Yeah, I'm somewhere in the 120s.
Yep. Well, 120s.
Somewhere in there.
So how'd you handle it?
No, I'm left-handed.
True.
So, us left-handers, we have our certain shot that we always try on just a little score pattern.
Yep.
The old famous 10 to 5.
10 to 5. Yep.
I just grabbed the ball. I forget what I tried to throw in practice. I don't remember which one it was. And then just off that read, then I grabbed my Black Widow 2.0. Nice smooth reaction. I love that ball. It's really clean. And I thought it was the right ball. I mean, I didn't bowl bad. Shot all 220s, 230s, all 220s, 230s the first 5 games. Just didn't have a lot of room for error with that ball. So I had to come up with another game plan for then the next 3 games. So then I went to my Columbia 300 command. It's a little more jumpier, and I do have a lot more room with that ball.
Got ya.
So then the next 3 games I went 260, 260, 230, which that was like, okay, that was my game plan. It worked out. Then we came out here on our first match. Did get 1 break, 8th frame.
Yes. I want to ask you that question. Did you?
Oops.
What'd you do on that shot?
I just grabbed it.
Grabbed it. Okay.
I grabbed the piss out of it.
All right.
I got away with it. You got to take advantage of that.
Absolutely.
So
let
I
me.
only threw 2 balls all day today. Black Widow and my Columbia 300 command.
So let me ask you this: in the championship match, you at one point on 41 and then 42 left back-to-back 7 pins.
Yes.
What did you make an adjustment then on
Yes,
41? Because it looked like you played a different line. You got the ball maybe a little further down the lane.
I got a little farther down the lane. I moved another board left. I took a little hand out of it. There's a little friction out there, so I didn't want to grab it. So like I said, just move 1 left. took a little hand out of it. Then I went over to 42, did the exact same thing, but then that ball jumped on me. I'm like,
Yes.
So then when I went back to 42, I just adjusted another half right,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was fine.
See that? Old eyes, and I could see the change. So,
Right now.
I was looking at the stats this week. Can I have a loan?
Oh, yeah.
You're banking a lot of scholarship. So if you don't mind me, floating me a couple $100 I got to pay my kids' college tuition if you don't mind.
Yeah,
No, I gotta pay this.
send me a message.
Thank you. All right, so who do you guys want to thank for this? I know what's coming out of your mouth first. So go ahead.
I would like to thank Jeff Smith and the whole Purity staff for helping us with the Purity Center, getting it so we're able to bowl out there, and Jeff helping us with all our equipment and stuff, and especially the lefty over here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank him helping me today.
Who asked who to be the partner? Like, did you have to ask him or did he ask you? Let's
No,
admit it.
It was kind of like after the last couple adult youth ones when we weren't together. He bowled great. His partner would struggle. Then I'm bowling great, and my partner struggling. He's like, yeah, we're just gonna bowl
Got
together.
it. Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank Pure Pro Shop. Jeff Smith. He helps me out a lot with my drillings. I just tell him what I want. He just punches them up. Also got to thank Columbia 300 for the balls that they're making out there at Brunswick. I just can't ask for anything better right now. They're making some really good stuff, and you guys got to try to. I'm not trying to sell anything, but I mean, if you're not hunkered down to a company, please just try one of our bowling balls. I mean, we are making such great stuff right now. It's unreal.
I'll be honest. Back in the days when I bowled, Columbia was my favorite.
Yeah, we're just making so many good bowling balls right now.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, taking home title number 7 on the season, and title number 2 as a team this year in adult junior. We have Darren Zombro III and DJ Zombro. Congratulations,
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
All right, we'll bring Matt back in here, and we will wrap things up. Boy, Matt,
All right, what a day.
I'm used to being home by now.
Yeah, I know. This was a long one today.
it was.
It was a good one, though. We had 116 people, and it was a great adult junior. So everybody have a great week off next week, and we will see everybody in 2 weeks for our next event. Sunday, May the 2nd, we'll be at Strike Zone Alleys in Pottsville, PA. So make sure you sign up in advance online, and we'll see everybody on the lanes in 2 weeks.
All right, from all of us here at PJBT to all of you, have a great one.
See ya.